What's up, guys? It's Aleph Predicts here, and what we do over here is we use statistics to see if we can predict football matches. So currently in the stage of development, I have a mobile application that should be rolled out in 2 weeks. But to catch you up on everything that I have built is I've taken a long time. It's probably been months, almost to a year, to develop a statistical model that can predict football matches. So what I found is that uh, the probability what varied depending on the league. And if you're interested in the raw data, this is it over on the left, based on the Python output. But I think for most users, it would be better to view it on the application. So what I found is that the predictive uh, probability changed depending on the leagues. So for certain leagues, it was higher. In the Premier League, and in other leagues, it was slightly lower. I think Eredivisie is another example of slightly lower probability. And what I've now done is, over the previous weekend, I have ran the statistics on this weekend's previous fixtures. So what I'll show you over here is how accurate it was in predicting the matches that have just passed. So if we have a look at the Premier League, there was 5 matches in which it predicted. I will pull those up on the application as well. And what we see is there were 5 predictions and it got 4 out of 5 correct. And another interesting thing is what I will be doing on this channel is I will be documenting basically every single week the performance of this application and this statistical model to see how well it performs as well as how much profit we can make. So the goal is to be able to have a model that works well. It's not necessarily meant to be a copy paste in terms of just copying every single prediction that it outputs, but it gives us a good indicator of what could be good bets and what could be less good bets. So, for example, in the Premier League this previous weekend, it performed pretty well with 80% accuracy rate, predicting. So these are the games that it predicted. It predicted Arsenal win, Newcastle win, Fulham win, Crystal Palace win, Man City win, and again, 4 out of 5 of those were correct. And it would have returned if you basically if you bet $10 bet on every single bet that it provided, like single bets, you would have seen a return of 47.6% ROI. And the predictive nature of this statistical model vary depending on the league. And we can see, for example, in La Liga, in the application based on previous data, it did a lot better than it did this weekend. And it saw an accuracy of 78.6%. But I guess over time, we will see a more true value in terms of how accurate it is with, obviously more fixtures and more availability of data to be able to predict whether or to be able to see whether the model is able to predict games or not. So in La Liga, it had a 3 out of 5 of the games that it predicted it got it correct, which is also not too bad. If you took every single bet, you would have practically broken even. Within the Serie A, 50% accuracy. I need to update this. The Como game was on Monday, so I hadn't quite added that in. So it got 2 out of 4 of the games correct. And then if we have a look at League Earn, it actually got every single prediction correct, which is really impressive for a statistical model. And yeah, I guess when I saw this, it was kind of an insight that, you know what, I'm heading in the right direction, and this is something that could be useful to a lot of people. So again, it's all going to be available in my mobile application that will be available soon. It's currently in the testing phase, but yeah, this was kind of a good indicator that, over time, if I run this model and follow it and share the way that it's performing, it could be valuable to other people out there in order to see if it can help improve the bets that we make. So I've been in gambling for a really long time, and this is the reason why I developed it. And we can see over here, there were only two games in the Bundesliga in which it predicted, and obviously Bayern Munich won this weekend. But Bayern Mönchengladbach went to lose, and I think they lost quite dismally. Um, and then we have games in the Eredivisie. It got three out of five of those correct. And in the Scottish Premiership, I think it predicted Rangers to win, and that didn't go quite as planned. But again, this is only the return from one fixture, so it's not necessarily representative of the overall accuracy. So what I did in the application is I ran it over, I think it was about 3 seasons of data. So if you have a look at the statistical accuracy over here, this was based on how well the model performed over 3 years of data. And so it's slightly more indicative of what you should expect the model to do for that specific league. Um, but this weekend was the first weekend that I ran it, and I will continue to update all of all the accuracy on the channel over time. So we've got fixtures coming up this weekend. Tomorrow I will actually drop a video of the fixtures before, of the predictions before the games are played. If anyone is interested in using it, I will be likely making a few slips, and for sure it will be interesting to see how it performs. So as we see, there probably will be weekends in which the model doesn't predict anything for certain games based on the statistics of those games. So as we see within I think this is Belgium League, Jupiter Pro, there were no predictions, and within the Greece League, there was one prediction and it won. And overall, I've logged the accuracy of the model over the weekend, and we found that, or at least I found that the accuracy was 66.6% over all the games played. And basically, if you put 10 US dollars on every single bet, uh, and yeah, on every single bet, you would have basically made 3% profit, which isn't what I'm aiming for. And again, this is one weekend of data. So basically over time, we will see how it performs. So yeah, so that was the first video. Just a brief introduction and a quick one on what I'll be doing on this channel. So again, how it's going to work is I will put out a video before the weekend based on the fixtures that are up and coming. And then once all the fixtures I've ran, I will do a brief catch up, basically like I have today, just to see how the model is performing and how much profit can be made, as well as in the videos where I talk about the upcoming games and share you the predictions. I will share a few of the slips that I am taking based on the model. So I think the purpose of this is that the model is going to be pretty accurate in terms of what it's predicting, but that doesn't mean that you know in terms of the bets that you take, that you should just bet every single game. It's more of I guess, more of like a double check. Um, or that's at least how I'm going to be using it. Like if there are bets that I plan on making, I'm going to use the model to plan around my bets and see whether statistics actually back the bets that I am making, and therefore take bets, because it doesn't necessarily make sense. I've tried it without the model taking single bets based on, I don't know, maybe there's 10 games and you put $10 on every single bet. It's actually not the best way I found in order to be profitable. Well, if you select a few, like let's say there were 30 predictions over here, and maybe there was 15 that you liked and 20 of them from the total hit, and then maybe there's a higher percentage based on the selection that you chose, and maybe you make doubles with those predictions. Maybe the profit in that you make from that will be higher. And what I aim to do here is provide the statistics and the output that the model is able to get, and then use that in order to build slips and see how using the statistical model as well as risk management and all of that is going to work in order to see how profitable we can be. So yeah, if this is your first time here, which it should be because it's the first video, welcome. And I will see you soon when I produce the next fixtures. So see you guys soon.